Welcome to the studio. My name is Jack Green, and today I'm here with the senior here at Oak Mountain, Luke Baxley. Luke, thank you for coming on today.
It's my pleasure. I love being here.
So I know you've told me that you came from ASFA sophomore year. Can you tell me what that was like and kind of like the transition from ASFA to Oak Mountain?
Well, that year was the COVID year, 2020. So I was at ASFA for the first semester, and then a little bit after the second semester, we just all went online. And I know Oak Mountain, y'all didn't have any like work really that year, right?
Yeah, it was like mainly online stuff.
Yeah, it's online stuff. We had like Zoom calls every day. So it was pretty much just full classes, but online. I was like, I really don't want to do this anymore. And we were supposed to do that for all of junior year as well. So I couldn't have done that any longer, so I just came to Oak Mountain.
All right. And I know you've been working with a ton of music stuff lately. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So in July, I started my job at Valleydale Baptist Church, and there I'm the worship intern. So I have to lead worship on Wednesdays. I get all the music stuff ready for Sundays. I play violin, piano, guitar. I sing some on Sundays and Wednesdays. So that's a lot of music stuff I'm doing job-based wise. And then also like freelance wise, I'm working on an album, my first album, and it's going along pretty well. I've had some difficulties in recording since I just don't have the equipment for it. And I have minimal stuff, and I really don't want to pay for a whole studio. So that's going along well, but I think I'm saving right now. I have about $2,000 saved for like the production and recording of it. So I'm debating whether I want to buy equipment or just like have someone produce it for me. We'll see how that goes, but I have everything written. I have, it's 8 songs on the album, and it just kind of tells a story of like the seasons passing by and like how just life also passes by through that. And like relationships, they always start and end. There's just nothing that goes on forever.
What kind of music's on it? Like, is it like singing, instrumental? Like, what are you doing on it? 'Cause I know you play
it's
a ton of
more,
instruments and stuff.
yeah, it's more, I'd say acoustic. There's not much like pop to it. It's kind of singer-songwriter, I guess. But since I do play violin, there's some heavy strings in it. Some like cool like layers that I've done, I put into it and like just add cool effects with it.
Yeah.
But it's more like that. And then, I like to think of it as like a mix between like Jack Johnson and John Mayer. It's like a cool like in between of that. It's cool.
And I know like you play a ton of instruments too, and like you said, you went to ASFA. You've probably been doing this forever. When did like your passion for music start? Like, what kind of got you into it?
Oh, I don't know. It was a long time ago when I started. So what my mom tells me, at least, because I was too young to really remember, is my brother took piano lessons. And every time we went into like the piano workshop that he did lessons at, there's a violin hanging on the wall. Every time I went in there, I pointed at that and I was like, Mommy, I want to play this. And she was like, okay, wait till you're 4. So I waited till I was 4, and they finally bought me a violin for that Christmas, and they started me lessons. I've just been playing ever since then.
That's sick.
So, yeah. So I've been doing violin since then. I was doing classical. I played classical up until 10th grade, actually, and I stopped taking lessons. And I started guitar when I was 12, and then I started piano when I was 13. And then I started singing for my job now, because I have to do that. And that's one thing I really wish I could have done, is started singing earlier, so I could have more time to like learn and take more lessons in it before I really start going off into my career. Because that's a really big part of music, if you want to like have a career in it, is singing and like lead lines and that. Because playing instruments, you can go far. You can only go so far doing that. If you want to like make your own music and make a career out of it, like a solo artist, you have to be able to sing.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, like wanting to kind of pursue this after high school. Like you were saying, singers need to be able to do that kind of thing to be able to have a career in music. What are you kind of thinking of after high school? Like, do you want to pursue a career in music, or like what's in the future for you?
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about music, since that's all I can really do. And I'm really like, I can tell God that's what God wants me to do is music, since that's what He's gifted me in, and He just has like people telling me to take this path and different doors opening and closing to show me that this is where I need to go, is music. So right now I'm deciding between Auburn and Belmont to go to college for. And what I'm thinking right now is I may do 2 years at Auburn at first, just kind of get like my basis in that program and kind of make connections with that. And then do the other 2 years at Belmont and just make connections in that other area in Nashville. And then after that, I'm planning, I I have this church that I'm not sure if it may work out, but it may not. But after college, there's just one church that I'm planning to go in LA, actually, that I'm planning to go lead worship at for a couple years. I want to try and get my solo name out there in LA while leading worship at that church. And if that works out, I'll just kind of be making my own music and just creating, just being an artist. And if that starts skyrocketing and going well, then I'll just be touring, making money, making music, and
sounds great.
Doing what God wants me to do.
Where could we find any of Luke Baxley's music? Are you on Spotify or anything like that?
Not yet, because the album hasn't released. But when it does, it'll be on all platforms, like Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, even just the ratchet ones, SoundCloud, Muzi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm excited for you. Looking forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course, Mr. Green. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And thank you so much for watching. You can catch us on any of our socials, all at Oak MTN Media.